In lesson 10, we learned how nice it was to have x and star on the same side because they eliminate each other. We got rid of them. Here in lesson 11, notice already with this equation, star and x are not on the same side. So we've got to figure out how we can make that work. So let's go to the board. Okay, we're going to set up that equation. I've got 2x, and I've got star and 6. That's what I have. Now, what do I have to do? I need to figure out what x and star is. Now, I could try to mentally work this out and see if I can figure out what number plus itself on one side equals the opposite of that number plus 6 on the other side. You know, that's going to be kind of hard to do. But here's what I know. I know if I have a star and an x on the same side, I can eliminate them. We knew from before that I could take an x away from both sides or a star away from both sides and be okay. Here we're going to do the opposite. I'm going to add something to both sides. I'm going to add an x to both sides. Notice I put it right on in front on both sides. I added that x to both sides. By doing that, it allows me to have an x and a star that I can remove. So now I got 3x equaling 6. Well, that leads me to believe that x is 2 and star is -2. So let's go to the other board and check that out. I'm going to do the same thing. I've got my 2x, 2x, and my star plus 6. So now, just like I did over there, I'm going to get an x and put it in front on both sides. Now, when I do that, again, the star and the x cancel each other out on this side. That leaves me 3x equaling 6. So that leads me to think that x is 2 and star is -2. They're opposites of each other. Let's eliminate the ones I added. Let's put the star back in there. Does it work? I've got 2 plus 2 on the left, and I've got -2 plus 6 on the right. 2 plus 2 is 4. -2 plus 6, opposite signs going to subtract, so 6 minus 2 is 4. They equal each other. That works off. So our trick today is that I can add an x on the side with a star and eliminate the star. If I had more stars than x's, I could add a star to both sides to eliminate the x and the star. Okay, let's try this one. I've got 3 x's on one side, and I got a star and a 4 on the other side. So like the last one, I have 3 x's and a star and a 4 on the other side. If I need to eliminate a star or an x, I can remove them if they're on the same side. Star and x side by side I can eliminate. Or if I have one on each side of the balance beam, I can relieve it. I don't have that situation. So like my last problem, I need to add an x to both sides. Now by adding that x gives me an x and a star on my right-hand side. So I can slide those out. I got 4 x's equaling 4. Put that over there so it's more straight up and down for it. 4x equals 4, so x must be 1. So on the board, I'm doing that same thing. I'm going to add an x to both sides. Then the x and the star come off. So that leads me to believe that x is 4. Well, that means star, whoa, that's not right. X can't be 4. I got 4 x's equaling 4. X is 1, which means star is -1. So now I'm going to take away those 2 x's that I borrowed, and I go back to my original problem, 3x and star plus 4. Now if x is 1, I've got a 1 plus a 1 plus a 1, or I got a 3 on that side. The other side I got a -1 plus 4. -1 plus 4, again, opposite signs, I'm going to subtract. 4 minus 1 is 3. Both sides say 3. That works out. What happens if we have multiple x's and multiple stars? So I've got 3x plus 2 equals 2 stars plus 15. Okay, so 3 x's, 2 stars, and a 15. I'm going to do this one on the hand board again. 3 x's, 2 stars, and a 15. There's my problem. My x's and my stars are on opposite sides once again. But if I add an x to the left-hand side and I add one to the right-hand side, I keep both sides the same. Well, that gets rid of one of the stars. If I add another x to the right-hand side and another x to the left-hand side, got to make sure I add the same amount each time, that gets rid of another star. So now I have 5 x's equaling 15. That leads me to believe that x is 3, because 3 times 5 is 15. Well, that would mean star has to be negative 3. So now let's go back to the original equation I have here, and I just said x is going to be 3, and star is negative 3. Now, how did I do that again? I got an x, and I added it to both sides, which allowed me to eliminate an x and a star on the right. I notice I still have a star, so I'm going to get another set of x's, one for each side, plug them on there. That allows me to get rid of the second star from the right-hand side. I've got 5 x's equaling 15, so x would have to be 3, and star would have to be negative 3. So now I got to get rid of those pieces I brought in. I had 2 of these, right? Yep. There we go. Okay, there's this extra. So now let's see, does it work? I got 3 plus 3 plus 3. I got negative 3 plus negative 3 plus 15. So when I do that here, 3 plus 3 plus 3 is 9. Negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6 plus 15. Negative 6 plus 15, opposite sign, subtract. 15 take away 6 is 9. 9 equals 9. That works out. So if I happen to have stars and x's on opposite sides, I'm going to go ahead and add an x or add a star to eliminate things. That's the way we do that one.